Welcome back to Sid Mickle Publications, the channel for indie author advice. The title of today's video is I Quit. Yep, simply I Quit. Today I'm going to tell you three things that I am going to no longer do. And I'll probably tell you a couple things I'm going to try to do better. The first thing is this. I am no longer going online and looking at writing groups and subgroups. Those especially that only offer toxic, snarky put-downs to indie authors who are trying to write better, who are trying to gather information on questions that they just don't understand. That is not a community I'm going to be a part of. I'm not going to waste any more time on that because it's worthless. And not only worthless, it really is a negative. It drags me backwards. So if it doesn't add anything to my writing career or my writing advice channel here on YouTube, I'm out. Done. No more. I quit. The next thing I'm going to quit is this. I'm going to no longer look at advice channels that have false promises, that have certain elements or gimmicks to their presentation. Gimmicks like shouting at people, again, putting people down, or offering advice from a high and lofty position of expertise. Nope, I quit. They offer no value to me. I don't need to go to a channel and be put down, and I don't need to go to a channel that tells me if I do point 1, 2, or 3, book sales will blow up, my writing will be exponentially better. Nope, I'm out. The third thing I'm going to quit is this. I'm going to quit explaining how you cannot edit, self-edit your own work. No more. It's just a simple fact. And I continually get into this conversation, and I really don't want to be negative about this. I'm not going to be disrespectful about it. I'm just not going to do it. We can't self-edit, self-edit our own work. It's our work. Our minds read ahead. Our minds understand it. Hire a professional editor. Borrow the money. Save the money. Find the money to pay for that vital step. You've spent so much time working on your book. You've put so much energy and effort into it. Don't diminish it with poor editing or no professional editing. We're done. We're not doing that anymore. And kind of the B part of that I quit is this. We're going to do the same thing with the conversation about creating your own covers. You can find software, you can go on popular sites and build a crappy cover and stick it on your book. Please don't do that. Again, you've put all your work, all your energy, all your effort into writing a good book. Don't diminish it with a lousy cover. We're not cover designers, we're writers. Pay for a cover. Those three things I'm going to quit are going to make a difference in my writing attitude, the amount of time I have to write, and the amount of time I think of and manage conversations from the YouTube channel. We're going to do very different things. We're going to take that time and that energy and focus on content that helps you, the independent writer, and helps me because I'm an independent writer and a self-published author. So together, maybe we can keep each other on track and encourage each other. Maybe we can communicate and talk about things that help us become better at our writing careers. And one other thing we're going to focus our energy on is this. We're going to publicize and we're going to constantly repeat the fact that Sid Mickle Publications is a writing community that you are welcome to join to hopefully get advice that helps you. You're going to get honest advice from someone who has written 7 books and is working on another 3 from the best of their experience and their knowledge and the things they've learned from writing. And it will be done respectfully. That's what we're offering here. We want you to join us. And we're going to continue to say that over and over. We're going to keep that invitation out there is we try to grow this channel and we try to build something that is valuable to all of us as we learn to write and we write more and we write better. The thing we're going to continue to talk about here on this channel is writing consistently. The old put your butt in a chair and write. Because at the end of the day, basic writing advice says write and write more, edit more, revise and revise more. That's how you develop your writing skill. That's how you grow as a writer. Did you know that less than 1% of all people ever attempt to write a book? That should tell you something about how difficult, how monumental the task of writing a book really is. The other thing I want you to always hold on to is this simple fact. When you write a book, it does fundamentally change you. It has to. Because now you have gone through the discipline of putting that time in, putting that focus in and that concentration to try to tell a story to other people that they will enjoy and read, and maybe pay you to read that story. It's a big task. It takes a lot of work, but it is a huge payoff. And what you need to do that? Very little. You need the desire to write, and you need the patience to write, and you need to be willing to just start over and attack everything. When you finish that task, you'll look back at some of the challenges and you will say, that was hard and I overcame it. It's a very simple process of just hard work. Just recently, I was watching a writing advice channel on YouTube, and they had a famous author on, someone who is commercially successful and had won multiple awards for his writing. And I was very encouraged as I watched that video. And why? Because this famous author talked about the basics of writing. The same things we talk about here at Sid Mickle Publications. He reinforced how important the basics of just sitting down and writing consistently were for him. And he talked about how he learned to edit and rewrite. And then he talked a great deal about revising his work and how much better it got every time he revised it. Sound like a common theme with what we're talking about. Now, while this author was talking more to traditionally published authors, I think it bears fruit for us too here as indie authors. They're the same basic concepts. Our technical skills will grow as we write more and we learn more. We'll write better dialogue after we write a lot of dialogue. We'll tighten up our plots after we write more plots. We'll do all the things from a technical side better when we just write more and we have more experience. The last thing I'll tell you about this famous author is he talked about how there are very few barriers to entering the field of writing, except one. It takes so much energy, patience, dedication, just a toughness to get through the challenge of writing. And he talked about that's why a lot of people never write, because they start and they can't finish. So when you write your first book, as an indie author, when you publish that book and your name is on it, I hope you will stop and just take a moment to understand what a huge victory, what a great accomplishment that is for you. You've done something that very few people will ever even attempt to do. Take pride in that and take the credit for it. Then sit down and get started on the next book, because the next book will probably be better, probably much better. Well, I hope today's video has been somewhat entertaining and maybe helpful. We're going to try to come back next week, probably Monday or Tuesday as usual, and talk about another subject of indie writing. But until we get back together next week, I hope you all take care of yourselves. As you know, I always want you to go out and have fun with your friends and your family. Just enjoy yourselves. It'll be very important to you. But like I say, take care. We will see you again soon. Bye-bye.